We've talked about before, and we've talked a little bit about after. I mean, let's take that invitation to kind of think about some sort of vision or some sort of future. And imagine ourselves, if we can, that it's a few years after the Olympic Games, 2016, 2020. And you're looking back on 2012 and its aftermath. And you're looking for evidence that it's been a good Olympics. What would you want to look at? What would you want to have been able to see as evidence that the London 2012 Games had been successful for Newham, for you, for the country?
The first thing that springs to mind for me is sort of youth sports clubs dotted throughout the borough. Is a sort of fallout from events at the Olympics, and obviously full use of what's built there at the Olympic site. Obviously not all of it, some of it's going to fall by the wayside, but I'd like it to be of lasting use to people who live in Newham, because I've lived here for 40 years roughly in various parts, and it's never had anything. It's a sort of desolate landscape of poor housing really on the whole, and it is about time that we had things here. Got a very high crime rate amongst youth, and it's a very simple, I think a lot of people poo-poo the idea, but if you give particularly young men, I'd say, things to do in a team environment, it's very, very good for them, and it keeps them out of trouble.
Yeah, I think the same.
Yeah.
So sorry, Robin, you go.
Yeah, no, I was going to agree to say, I think that would be they get some really good spin-off from it all, and I take the point that's been,
If around there you've got the Greenway, you've got the was it Riverlea navigation, whatever, you've got a river, so there's all sorts of things you could spin off, and because before it was there, but there was no facility, no structured tuition for canoeing or kayaking or anything like that. All of those things could be built off of that area. You've got Tower Hamlets, Hackney right next door. It could be a stadium used for sports, because they've only got one new one, I think, athletic stadium, haven't they? So it would be useful, and you could do all sorts of things like they do in Wales, in Cardiff, and at the Millennium Stadium. So it should be, that's a feasible thing now. I really can't understand why that's not been nailed down now, but it hasn't. And you can, if you've got all the amenities like the shops, the schools, then you can bring the housing. A lot of the time we've got housing like just up there, galleries, no schools, not enough schools, and not enough, other amenities you need, shops, doctors, clinics, all things that you need to help sustain a community. So it's not just housing. That'd be good.
I would hope that that looking back, you could see it as a catalyst for just complete regeneration of the area, and that we have a better transport infrastructure, and that it's brought a sense of pride in the local environment, local area, and that people care for the environment a little bit better. Particularly the youth, there's a lot of vandalism and antisocial behaviour, and I would hope that this would possibly reduce that.
Well, the success of it, I would think, is number one, starting for the government to be able to deliver infrastructure-wise what they promised to deliver on the ground. Then, hopefully, I would like a lasting legacy for the stadium. When you say this event is going to be hosted here, when you call the name, then the whole world will see it. I want to go there. It's like, well, if it's banned anything, that will bring week in, week out income to the local business. whatever it is. So, if there's a football match or anything that's been staged there, it would be huge turnout, and it would improve economic-wise the whole area, And again, for the whole area to invite different sets of investors far and wide, not different investors, China and Indian, to come and invest in the first class flats, and just obviously to regenerate the whole area, because when you talk about, sorry to say, when you say Chelsea or Mayfair, who lives in Chelsea and Mayfair? They're all 50-60% outsiders, the Arabs, so yeah, so it's generating the whole area. Okay, obviously in that case you're bringing in resources from outside to the borough.